Hello, welcome to another episode of A Few Minutes with Marvin, Fireside Chat Edition. So, you've made your New Year's resolution to lose weight yet again. No worries, it's all good. Are you going to stick to it this time? Right? And if you don't, are you going to resolve to do it again next year? Well, if you watch my previous videos on New Year's resolutions, you've learned that resolutions shouldn't be made just once a year, right? You should constantly strive to do something better for yourself every day, every week, right? Make it fit your schedule, right? If that's the best way to really stick to a resolution, is to fit it in, right? Schedule it. Schedule going to the gym, schedule, therapy classes, schedule coaching sessions, right? Schedule meal planning times. All those things really, keep you in alignment with hitting your targets, right? You have to have targets. You can't just say, I'm going to lose weight, and then, eat healthy for 2 days and then go back to your old habits, right? That's not going to help you lose weight. You have to have some kind of plan. And there's many resources out there that you can turn to get your own plan on how to start and how to make it consistent, right? And you have to try several different options first to see what resonates with you and what sticks with you. That's the only way that you're going to stick to your resolution, stick to your goal of losing weight. Now, in this video, I'm going to share my story and how I stayed on track with losing my weight. And believe me, I wasn't struggling with my weight. I didn't see that I needed to lose weight. That was one thing. Until I really started looking at myself in the mirror and noticing myself. I was like, wow, I think all my life I've been overweight and didn't really know it, because, nobody judged me for it. I didn't judge myself. I didn't see it. It didn't matter at the time. What did matter to me is that I wanted to start taking better care of my health. So what I started doing is I started going to the gym a lot. And it was helping, right? It was building up my muscles. I have herniated discs in my neck, so I focused on my shoulders and lats and all those things, right? And I ran a lot. And for a year, I think I lost 5 pounds by going to the gym. What was different, right? I was going to the gym, you're gaining muscle, right? So that's weight. But I was getting measured at the gym too, and I wasn't losing body fat. But I also wasn't changing my diet too much. I'd cut out this and that, but I was still eating some junk food. I was still eating some processed foods. I was still microwaving meals. Although I was a chef, go figure. Just never allowed myself the time, right? So once I started identifying that working out just wasn't the only thing, wasn't enough, I had to shift something in my diet, something that I was doing, right? But I didn't go the traditional route. I didn't say, all right, I need to just stop eating this and stop eating that and stop eating that. No. I said, what can I do to boost my metabolism, to change my physiology a little bit, right? So that I start there, right, as a starting point. So a friend of mine has sent me a video about how important water was, especially for men, right? In your battle to lose weight. And specifically, it was drink as much water as you can before you get out of bed in the morning. Simple, right? I started that. I said, okay, I can do that. I'll put a big cup of water next to my bed. Well, I usually keep water next to the bed anyway, but I put more water there, right? Warm water. And I prefer spring water, by the way, instead of tap water, because there's a lot of chemicals in tap water. But that was my choice. So I started that way, to just drink as much water as I could. Then I said, okay, I don't know that this is working. You know, it could make me bloated. It could probably make me feel like I'm gaining weight, but that's okay. Right? It was something I decided to do rather than just cut something out cold turkey. I added something to my routine. Then I said, okay, what else? Right? This is good. I can do this. Right? This is achievable. What else can I do? So I did some research and saw that apple cider vinegar, a shot, tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons a day, was amazing, right? So what did I do? I went out and bought organic apple cider vinegar and started taking a teaspoon. Wasn't great. I wasn't enjoying it so much. I was mixing it in whatever I could to kind of take the taste away. But I started doing it, right? And then I found these pills that were vegan and capsules. Well, they weren't capsules. They were the hard tablet ones, but the coating wasn't gelatin. And I had to take 3 times a day, so I was doing 9. So you say, wow, that's a lot. But think of it: if you're taking high blood pressure medications and vitamins and all, those are really big horse pills anyway. So what's the difference? So I decided, all right, let me try that. So I started integrating that, right? So now I added more water. I'm adding these apple cider vinegar pills that are designed to start cleansing you and detoxing you, and that started happening for me. And then I knew that I wasn't getting enough fiber in anything that I was eating, so I decided to find the best soluble fiber source out there that was vegan. I wasn't a vegan at the time, but I was thinking in those terms, that didn't have a lot of additives, that was natural, things like that. And I found a product. And then I started putting a couple tablespoons or teaspoons in my drink every day. I just followed the directions. So those are 3 things that I started with, right? And shortly after that, the weight started coming off, because I kept going to the gym. And then I became mindful of what I was eating. I stopped eating so much out and junk food, right? Just mindfully. Just when it was there, I was like, you know what? I've started doing this stuff. Maybe putting that into my body isn't that great. Slowly, kept going to the gym. It maybe took a month or 2. Probably, right? Just doing those things, and I lost, I think it was 10 pounds. Now you say, no, that's not a lot in a month, but it went from 5 pounds in a year to 10 pounds in a month. That's progress. That kept me motivated. And then I said, well, if this worked, imagine if I start cutting stuff out. At that time, I decided to cut back on my alcohol intake. Not because alcohol is devil, just because I just knew it wasn't. I didn't have a taste for it anymore. I'd go out just to socialize and have a beer, and then not want the beer. So I just started. Anytime I didn't want it, I didn't force myself. Or I didn't feel like I had to in social situations, and it just started falling away. Right? I had stopped drinking soda a long time ago, so I wasn't in that. But then I was addicted to bread. And I said, I got to stop buying bread. And I did. That's when it became easier, right? You go a month or 2 with putting in new habits. Now, breaking another habit's not a big deal, because it falls in alignment with what you started, right? Now I'm doing these things, and I'm seeing some results. What other results can I get, right? And what do I have to do? So I cut out alcohol, and then I cut out the bread, right? And then I started lowering my cheese intake. I ate cheese a lot, and I started introducing vegetables and greenery into my diet, things I wasn't doing before. I started mindfully going to, I started at Tropical Smoothie Cafe, drinking their detox Island Green. Maybe once, twice, 3 times a month at first. And it wasn't so much of what it was doing, but it was working. It was more the psychology of it, that I'm sticking to this, and it's not that hard. I've introduced some things, now I let go of some things. And everything else just started falling in line. I'm still going to the gym. Next thing you know, by February of 2020, and I had started probably September of 2019, I lost 20 pounds. That may not seem like a lot to you, but I didn't think I had 20 pounds to lose to begin with. So now I'm almost to my goal weight without really giving up or sacrificing too much. And then I kept going to the gym, but then COVID came. Wow, what do you do now? Now COVID took away the gym. But COVID didn't take away the mountains and the parks, because I had started hiking on a regular basis too. I just started hiking, right? I was getting into my more spirituality, and I just knew that meditating outdoors and grounding became important to me, so I was doing those things, right? So now I'm grounding, now I'm meditating, now I'm doing this apple cider vinegar and the water and the fiber, right? Those became my daily routines. Every day. And I stopped eating bread, and then I stopped gradually, right? I didn't do it overnight. I stopped drinking alcohol, but if a friend called me up and said, let's go out for a drink, I had a beer or two, right? Or a glass of wine. So it's not like I just stopped cold turkey. That's very important on your weight loss journey. You can't just stop something and expect that all of a sudden your body's going to get used to it, because you have the cravings, your addictions, right? Sugar's addictive, caffeine's addictive, foods, processed foods are addictive, and and I had stopped drinking coffee, because I had drank coffee my entire life, and I just knew that I wasn't feeling the caffeine effects like everybody did, and that nowhere throughout my life could I tell you that I was jittery because of coffee, because I wasn't, because my system was already used to it, and I was addicted to it. So it was until after I quit that I realized how addicted I was to coffee. I did. I had the headaches and stuff like that. But just, it's not that difficult. It doesn't have to be as difficult as you make it. You can make these little baby steps, because I was planning ahead. I said, I'm going to start doing this for this long, and then, you know what? I can get rid of this. Let me start that slowly but surely. So I really took things kind of slowly in baby steps. But once, for me, COVID hit, and I lost my catering business. I wasn't working now, and for the first time in my life, I didn't have anything to do. I started exercising more, right? In my house, in my apartment, just doing push-ups, right? Or sit-ups, crunches, things like that. During COVID, I started teaching myself how to do Reiki, right? And yoga. I started introducing yoga into my little workout routine, and then it went to Kundalini yoga, and then it went to Qigong. You see, it just built up. And then I was doing several things at one time, because now I had the time, and I was into it. So, cut to a couple months later, during COVID, 30 more pounds gone. I didn't know I had 20 pounds to lose. Now I've lost 50 pounds. And as a result of that, it just changed my mindset about food and what I was eating. So then I stopped eating meat. By July of 2020, I was a vegetarian, going from somebody who ate meat all the time. And it wasn't difficult. I was at the 4th of July party. They had ribs. I said, no, I'll take a salad. I didn't want the ribs. I didn't feel it necessary. I wasn't forcing myself not to. It just happened. And it went from there, right? Because I developed new habits. So the best way to start is start slow, so that they become habits, and then start getting rid of something that's a habit, right? Until it's no longer you don't need it anymore. It's not in your routine anymore. Those are the changes you have to make. And journal, right? I started journaling a lot. What was I doing all day? What did I do here, there? What thoughts came in? What challenges did I have, right? And it's just to write it down, because you have to get it out. It's not for you to just look at it, a week later and go, oh my God, that happened to me then. I'm still happening to me. It's a good, to keep yourself in line. Go back and go, what happened when that happened, right? So you're just taking your power back and your control back over the foods that have been addictive all your life, that are not healthy, right? And then you start researching more. Things will come up on your YouTube feed. It's like, that sounds interesting. Let me check that out. And if it resonates with you, try it, right? It's all trial and error anyway. There's no one specific diet that works for anybody. I started with the water and the vinegar and the fiber. And by the end of the summer, I wasn't doing any of those anymore, because I didn't need to, right? I replaced those, right? Because if I had kept up with those, then they become habits and your body gets used to it. Although I still do drink, a full cup or 16 ounces of water before I get out of bed. That I've maintained, because it's really good for you. You got to flush out your system. But I've introduced so many more things beyond that. I hiked a lot. The Wim Hof breathing technique in the cold showers became my mantras, right? I started my YouTube channel. Everything just started shifting. Once I slowly worked into what I wanted to accomplish. My goal was 20 pounds. I wound up 50 pounds, not knowing that I had 50 pounds to lose, but I did. I really did. You just don't see it. And doing little things like getting a full-length mirror and looking at yourself in the mirror, when you get out of the shower, before you get in the shower. Getting a scale, right, and weighing yourself consistently, just so you see a progress. But if you're working out, just know that the muscle weighs more than fat. So you'll be losing the fat and gaining muscle, so you may not see it on the scale, but it kind of helps you keep in check, right? So if you start getting away, you can identify as like, is it really muscle, or am I still eating those sugary, fatty foods, McDonald's, right? Okay, what can I cut out next? And try it, because if you cut out the McDonald's and now you lost another 5 pounds, it was a McDonald's. If you cut out soda and a few weeks down the road you lost another 5-10 pounds, it was a soda. It's just becoming aware of what is it that you're ingesting that's keeping your body, your metabolism slow, not functioning properly, right? Because all these things that we put in, the body's a machine, the body's your vehicle. Whatever you feed it, it's trying to use to make you healthy. But if you're not putting anything healthy in it that it can use, then you're doing the body a disservice. You're breaking down your own body. That's really what it is. We're polluting our own bodies, poisoning ourselves from the inside out with what we put in. And it doesn't matter if the commercial says it's healthy. Look at that label and read those ingredients, and you determine whether it's healthy or not. Look the stuff up, research, because from my experience, 8 out of 10 times, even vegan options aren't healthy. They load them with sodium and sugars, right, to make it taste good. It's not all about the taste, folks. It's all about the nutrition and what you put into your body. So if your focus is to lose weight, these are some of the things that you can at least look into, right? If they resonate with you, start them. And if they don't, they may lead to other things that will, right? So you have to stay open-minded about it. And you have to be ready to shift and to make the changes, necessary, right? Keep growing, keep evolving, keep fooling your body, right? Because your body needs to be constantly motivated to keep going. So if you make something too much of a routine, then your body's like, that's old hat, so it's just on autopilot again, and it doesn't do anything. Those muscles don't work. Those acids don't break down properly. It doesn't metabolize properly. All the inner workings that we are so unaware of, right? But they're so important. So just set your goal, right? And make it attainable. Start slow. Start adding something new. And And then when that new thing becomes habit, get rid of something that was a habit that needs to go. And that's the secret. That's my secret. It's worked. But it's constant work. I have to keep reminding me. This holiday season just passed, and I allowed myself to have some sugary stuff, and have some stuff with egg and butter in it. Even though I hold a diet that doesn't include those. But I was like, I made those conscious decisions. But I also now realize the consequences of those decisions. Not bad decisions, it's just that I wasn't feeling that great. My immune system suffered a little bit. I actually got a cold for a week, and I haven't been sick in years, right? But it was allowing those things. I had a few pieces of bread. I didn't go into any meats or anything like that, or any animal product, but, dairy's an animal product, but it was minimal. But it was still enough where my body was like, no, we don't need that anymore. You're drinking a lot of sugary chai tea lattes, right? Chai tea is so healthy. Read the ingredients. Not that healthy. So I've developed my own chai tea blend, right? That now I know what I'm putting in there. And it's not sugar. So doing those things, right? As you stick to it, and you can only stick to it if it's achievable and you see results. So make it achievable, track your results, and make whatever changes you need to along the way, right? Don't say you have to stick to it so hard, right? Allow yourself those moments when you're weak, and you just need that one thing, but just make it at one time, or develop yourself to the point where you don't need to do it at all, right? And get yourself to the point where when you have those cravings, right, you actually go for it, right? Like, say, for example, you just want ice cream, right? So get to your fridge or freezer. If you have it in your freezer, you really shouldn't if you're trying to quit anything, but if it's there, reach out for it and go, you know what, I really want it, but maybe next time, not this time. Close your freezer door. You do that several times, it becomes a habit where you don't even think about it anymore. The cravings do go away after a while, but the more you allow yourself to cheat, you stay with those addictive qualities, lingering, right? Always being, that sugar called me. Oh, it's just this one time. I did it last week, but it's just this one time. You do that enough, you're right back into the cycle. And it's just the way it goes. I'm speaking from my own experience, of course, because I have allowed myself to do that. And these last week or so, I wasn't struggling, but I've had to make some of those decisions lately, which I didn't have to do in my past. But lately, since I allowed myself to have some of those sugary products, I'm going, it's just this one time. Now I'm telling myself, yeah, maybe next time. I've done that, and I did it today, as a matter of fact, on one occasion. So it's consistently, putting in the work and acknowledging it. That's it. Being aware, like I always say in all my videos, you can do it. I strongly encourage you to just start on a routine that becomes habit. Add something first, and then start weeding out what you really don't want. It's really causing you to stay in the poor health or the obesity that you're trying to get out of. Not going to be easy. I'm not going to lie to you. It just takes resolve and will and allowance, right? And give yourself compassion throughout the process, because you're going to have moments that you're going to think that you failed, and you never fail. You just took a step back. Now just resolve yourself to go forward, and always keep going forward. That's all you can do. And I am a spiritual transformation coach. Although I'm not a fitness coach and I'm not trained in nutrition or anything, I can help you with the mental aspect of it and give you some guidance on some resources that I use that help me, right, to help you stay on your nutritional path. And really, it starts from within first, right? You have to get your mind right, and you have to start making better choices, and you have to allow things, but you also have to release a lot of those things that are subliminal and programmed. in order for you to be really successful. So hit me up for a free 30-minute decompression session. Let's see how we can get you on a new routine and help you stay accountable to yourself so that you can stick to it this time. I'd love to help. And if you like the contents of this video and you think it's helping you, it might be able to help others. So I encourage you to please give it a thumbs up and share it, right, with those people that you think may benefit from it. I'd love to help. It's just it's my story. If it inspires you to get on your health routine and stick with it this time, great. I'm honored to do so. So also leave a comment. Let me know where you are on your weight loss journey. And subscribe to my channel. I'm truly grateful for this. You got this. You got this. You always have it. Just stick to it a little bit longer this time. Right? You're worth it. You're worthy. Have an amazing day.